Hello, good morning. Good
Morning.
morning.
Good morning, Sridhar. How are you?
Good. I think we're ready for the final two more games, at least on today. We have the NFC Championship and the AFC Championship. So let's dive right into it and get some predictions. And I think what we'll do is that I'll bring it up. You give your prediction and why you think your team's going to win or your pick is going to win, and then and I will come back and chime in, and then we'll go to the next game, which is the NFC game. So the first game is between the Kansas City Chiefs, the Super Bowl champions, and Baltimore Ravens, who are the number one seed in the AFC East. So let's get into it. I mean, it's a big heavyweight matchup, and let's hear your take.
Yeah, exciting weekend. All heavyweights. So Ravens are hosting the AFC title game for the first time in 50 years. So um, they hopefully have the host benefit. They've got the 12th man factor going for them. Hopefully, they're coming off of what I thought was a very convincing win against the young CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans. Lamar, of course, starred again with two passing and two running touchdown scores. So you look at the numbers for these two teams, and you might get the feeling this could be a high scoring game. Two versatile quarterbacks, diverse set of weapons down the field, in the backfield. Ravens have Mark Andrews, hopefully coming back for them at tight end. So I say all that, but then I don't see this going into the 30s scoring wise either. Chiefs' red zone defense is pretty solid. Even last week with the Bills, both defenses are generally very good, especially the pass defenses. So I'm thinking this comes down to running games for both teams. Of course, you have Lamar and Mahomes ready to scramble when things don't work out in the down the field in terms of coverage. So I'm thinking, these two teams haven't played each other in a while. So there's not a whole lot for them to go by. It's probably going to come down to, who's better coached and prepared. Um, Looking at the players, Kelsey is stepping up at the right time. He scored a couple of touchdowns
Mhm.
last week against the Bills. Chiefs are really becoming like a road warrior team, and they're just finding ways to beat good teams. And now they take the test to Baltimore. So many lead changes last week, and Chiefs figured out a way to come out on top. And they came out really prepared in the second half, which impressed me. So I see that trend continuing for this game. I think lead changes will continue to swap back and forth in this matchup too. But all said and done, I think Harbaugh and Lamar and the Baltimore crowd will be the difference, and they'll eke out a win to head to the Super Bowl. And I'm gonna pick the Ravens for a 24-21 win.
Okay, I mean,
What do
low
you think?
scoring game. Low scoring game. I mean, all very valid points about the Chiefs and the Ravens. As you mentioned, very convincing win. I mean, in fact, Baltimore throughout the season, if there is one team that has been the most consistent when it comes to, apart for a couple of games here and there, they've been very consistent in blowing out good quality teams, be it 49ers, be it Detroit, um, be it the Dolphins. So I think everything is in favor, obviously, for the Ravens. Like you mentioned in the last game, the Chiefs and Bills, the Bills did have chances in the end. However, um, where Patrick Mahomes definitely showed why he is probably the best quarterback in the NFL today. And right now, he's making a big claim to be one of the all-time greats as well in his very young career. So, and like you said, you mentioned, Pacheco, Kelsey coming very strong this time of the year. Chiefs, you're right about being the road warriors. I mean, they are, they in the regular season they are probably have the best percentage over the last 7 8 years when Mahomes has been with them, and this is Mahomes' second road game playoff game in his young career.
Oh,
Um, Baltimore, on the other hand, I think one thing I do see is that they do have good Zay Flowers from a wide receiver standpoint, and OBJ is there as well. And with Mark
sure.
Andrews coming in, I think the offensive weapons for Baltimore just, I think it's settling down pretty well. Just when you think, I mean, I definitely think the Chiefs have to double team Zay Flowers. When they do that, OBJ gets a lot of open looks. Um, I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of throwing as well from Lamar. I'm expecting a little more. I think I would get into like 30-26 or 27 victory for Lamar and the Ravens, and then going to their Super Bowl. And I think it's been a while since they went. The last time they played was they played against 49ers. So, so I think both of us are going with the Ravens, considering how good they've been over this year. So
Yeah,
let's.
I think, yeah, I think those are all good points. And I say all of this, and Mahomes has repeatedly come back and disproved his naysayers in terms of what he can do with the team. So Andy Reid is gonna, I'm sure, come with a chip on his shoulder to prove in Baltimore.
Yep. All right. So next, let's dive into the next one, which is like almost like a Cinderella story. It's not Cinderella, but I mean, Detroit actually won the division this year. But when you take the grand scheme of things, 49ers, one of the storied franchises in NFL history, taking on the Lions, who are now won two very good games. So I want to hear your take on that, and then I'll come back to chime in.
All right. So yeah, like you said, favorites, 49ers hosting underdogs, Lions. Detroit, coming back to its only its second stint in its entire franchise history to the conference championship, but they've shown every step along the way why they belong here. Both these teams can put up a lot of points, so I think this is coming down to a defensive and turnover battle, and that's where things start to diverge or could become exposed. Lions pass defense is not that great. So will Kyle and Purdy and Chris McCaffrey and Debo Samuel exploit this? That's something to watch for. So Lions blitz a lot. So again, it comes to preparation on the 49ers and how Purdy reacts. Both teams have very good run defensive units all season. So they might turn out to be pretty balanced. 49ers defense, I was looking at some numbers. They generally seem to be better against the pass compared to the Lions. And so the question is, what does Goff do? Great receiver in Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Mhm.
Um, but 49ers may already have a plan for that. So is this the time that Lions start to go to their other rookie, Jameer Gibbs, on the ground and look for more production there if 49ers come against, the Lions passing offense? Speaking of the run game, on the other side, Chris McCaffrey had a great week last week. Purdy was completely off his game. Jordan Love and Packers gave 49ers a real running. But Chris's second touchdown helped the 49ers come out on top. So um, I look at all of what has happened, and I think 49ers got a bigger scare last week than the Lions. Lions obviously played the Bucks and beat them. So they probably have done a lot of work on correcting things on multiple fronts, passing, even special teams. So I'm going to actually say 49ers come out on top and by a handsome margin, 34-21 decision over the Lions. And yeah, what's your take?
No, I think you made valid points, and I think the last one you mentioned was very critical there. Brock Purdy definitely was off his game, and this is something that Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers personnel is going to focus on, which is um, they knew from an offensive standpoint. I mean, CMC came back with 2 touchdowns. They knew from that standpoint, Brock Purdy didn't have his best game. They
Hmm.
knew that this was the game that they should have lost, and they somehow pulled it out. Obviously, their defense came big against Jordan Love in the last drive. So to me, 49ers will be much better prepared. Like you were talking about, even Andy Reid, and I think Kyle Shanahan will be much better prepared, and then they will probably give Brock Purdy much better looks. Where they do have Kittle too, so they got Kittle, Ayuk.
Yeah.
They're very loaded on offense, and then for Detroit, concern me is that, I mean, again, they are a very good team, especially at home, and playing in the dome, they do have to go outside, and I would like to see how they perform in it may not, the weather might be fine, but I think just playing outside instead of the controlled environment in the dome. Let's see if um, the Detroit, both on the offense and defense, whether they're able to stop 49ers. I think to me, all indications are pointing to a 49ers victory because I think their offense will play much better. Their defense is probably one of the best. I think Baltimore and 49ers are probably the one and two, and maybe the Chiefs, right? But other than that, I don't see the Lions. I think the run comes to an end. I think it's been an incredible run for Goff. While I would like to see Goff go to the Super Bowl, I think the 49ers have too much power, and this could set up another big a rematch between the 49ers and the Baltimore Ravens that happened when both the Harbaugh brothers coached against each other. So
Yeah.
So that's where we are. But I think we're both kind of agreeing with the thing. I think the score, from a score standpoint, I do think it's probably going to be a 2 touchdown. I predict 34-17 or something like that. I mean, even though I do know that the Detroit has a very good offense, but that would be my prediction.
Yeah, no, I agree. The spread is likely bigger in the second game. The first one, it's interesting. You made the point about maybe being a little bit higher scoring. So something, we all have our, both of us have scores in the 20s and sort of low 30s. So it'll be very interesting to see how the defense shows up in both games. But at the end of the day, 49ers Ravens Super Bowl prediction sounds like a very, like, hey, we already knew this all the way along. But these two teams, if you take a step back and look at the entire season, every step along the way, they have earned it. When they have slipped and slid, they came back, and they came back very well prepared. So I think they are, frankly, the most deserving of one more shot at the ring.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, Satish. I think going back to that, right? I mean, 49ers did have a 3-game slide when they were down with a lot of their offensive personnel. And then Baltimore actually had a couple of bad losses. I think one was Pittsburgh, and I think one was Cleveland. Those were very
Mhm.
bad losses, and they have bounced back very well. I think, you know what? I think this is good, and I know we'll have like 2 more weeks to analyze and slice and dice whoever makes it to the Super Bowl. Um, I think we're both on the same thing. So 49ers and Ravens in the Super Bowl. So thank you again, Satish. And talk to you soon.
Thank you, Sridhar. Hope you all enjoy the game.
All right. It'll be nice snowing in the Northeast. So we'll be sitting and watching the game.
All right. Enjoy. Bye.
Enjoy. Bye.